Ready, go!
Uh-oh.
401. You might be asking yourself, why am I saying this number? This number is significant because of 401 years of oppression, 401 years of segregation, and 401 years of racism. I'll break down for you a small timeline. Africans were first brought to America in 1619, and until 1865, they remained slaves. That alone is 246 years. After slaves were freed, segregation began, and that lasted until 1954. Segregation lasted for 89 years. Then after segregation, we're finally free, right? Wrong. So far, we've had 66 years of quote-unquote freedom, in which we have mass incarceration, police violence all over the country, and we're living in poverty because of systematic racism. Let me give you a fact. Did you know that 1 in 1,000 black men should be expecting to die from police violence? That's not even including the rates for our female counterparts, which is extremely hard to find. But what you should know is that this cannot continue. If you're white, you might be saying that your uncle is so nice, and he's a police officer, so not all cops are bad. And I would respond to you with, you're right, not all cops are bad. However, your uncle is a cop, and cops are a part of a very evil and very corrupt system that's only beneficial towards white people. A system that makes it very difficult for black people to live in a good environment because of redlining. A system that makes it very difficult for black people to get high-paying jobs because of stereotyping, and a system that makes it very difficult for black people to trust the justice system due to mass incarceration, false accusations, and police brutality. So before you say that again, that not all cops are bad, think about how exactly you're going to say it. White people need to understand the fact that they have white privilege and accept that fact. Otherwise, we will never make people understand these facts. Some of you truly may not know what white privilege is. White privilege are benefits that someone who's white will have due to their race. So if you see a black person and a white person both applying for a job, and the black person has higher qualifications, you would think that it's easy for the black person to get the job because they have more qualifications, but that isn't always the case. In fact, there are a lot of times where the white person will still get the job, and this is because of white privilege. So then, if you're white, ask yourself the following questions. Do I feel uncomfortable talking about white privilege? Do I recognize my white privilege? Am I doing anything about it? And lastly, am I doing all I can during these uncertain times? If you're black, I encourage you to do the following things. Keep advocating, whether it be protesting, getting the word out about what's happening, or talking about it with your peers. If you're protesting, do it peacefully. Don't partake in any rioting. And for everyone, keep making sure you're doing the right thing. So I'm going to bring it back to what I was originally saying. You probably are asking yourself, why is 401 such a significant number? It's significant because of 401 years of oppression, 401 years of racism, and 401 reasons to fight for our freedom. And all of those reasons are because Black Lives Matter. Rest in power Ahmaud Arbery, rest in power Breonna Taylor, and rest in power George Floyd. We will get justice.